besties, welcome to my channel. My name is Lulu. If this is your first time here, I call all of my subscribers and all of my followers my besties because I believe that you should always looking for your best. So today's video is not like any other video I have ever posted on YouTube. I am going to be baking chocolate chip banana bread with chopped walnuts. Oh my god, this dish is so delicious. It's so easy to make. The ingredients are super duper cheap. So if you want to learn how to make this dish, or if you're bored and have nothing else to do, continue to watch. First things first, we are going to wash our hands. Yes, we're going to wash those hands, honey. Gotta make sure your hands are nice and washed. So now that our hands are washed, I'm going to show you how I mush the bananas together. So this next step, I'm going to take my mixing bowl and I'm going to mix 2 bananas together. You want to make sure that the bananas are ripe, that they look kind of sort of like this. You don't want them to be too brown, but you know, you still want to make sure that they're ripe. Actually, I decided to use 3 of the bananas as opposed to 2. So I'm going to put another one in there. And you want to make sure that you have a good mixing bowl. Your mixing bowl is key. You don't want to just mix this in any bowl. I mean, you can, but it's totally up to you. I'm going to use this small spatula just to mush the bananas. I mean, you want to make sure that you get out all the big chunks out of the bananas. Also, while you're mushing the bananas, make sure that your oven is set to 400 degrees. You want to make sure that you go ahead and get that Okay, so once you're done mashing your bananas, it should look something similar to this. Try to get out all the big chunks. I know that you won't be able to get out every chunk, but make sure that the chunks that are there aren't big. So this is optional, but I'm going to add a little bit of ground cinnamon to my mashed bananas. So I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit to the mashed bananas. I know some people probably do it a little bit different, but this is the way that I like to do it. So, I mean, to each his own, right? So we're going to set this to the side and we're going to now mix the dry ingredients. Make sure that you have your mixing bowls. I got these mixing bowls. It came in a set of 3. There's actually a larger one. It came in with this one, and another one which is larger than this. I got it from Target for only $8. These are key when baking. Trust me, you need these. You don't want to use your regular bowls that you eat cereal out of, honey. We need to be, you know, a little bougie sometimes. So let's add our dry ingredients. So for the dry ingredients, you're going to need baking soda, all-purpose flour, sugar, and salt. Now, some people do add kosher salt when they're baking. I don't have kosher salt and I really want to make this banana bread, so I'm just going to use regular salt. Make sure also that you have your measuring cups. I got these measuring cups, I think, from Bell's, the little ones and the big ones. So let's get right into it. I added 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a half a teaspoon of salt. Like I said, we're just going to swirl that around and you're going to put this bowl to the side because now we're going to mix our wet ingredients. Okay, so that consists of melted butter, a large egg, and an egg yolk. So we're only adding the yolk to this and not the, what am I doing here? You're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So that was only a half. So I'm going to add another. I'm going to put all of the ingredients below in the measurements. This is totally up to you. You don't have to add this, but you know, to each his own. This is what I do, and it's so delicious. Now I'm going to add sour cream. It's up to you if you want to add milk as opposed to sour cream. I mean, it's totally up to you. Cup of sugar. We're going to get that all the way in there, honey. Now we're going to mix the wet ingredients together. And just make sure that you mix it really good. When it comes to baking, you always want to make sure that you mix the ingredients, especially the wet and dry ingredients, really good, because you don't want to have any chunks. So you just mix that really good. And then what we're going to do now is add the bananas. So we're going to add the mashed bananas to the wet ingredients. So it should look like this. And I suggest doing the wet ingredients in a big bowl, a big mixing bowl, because you're going to eventually add everything to this bowl. So this smells so good. So now you're going to mix that together. Now you're going to add the dry ingredients. Don't add all of the dry ingredients at once. Just kind of add it in installments. So this is going to be the first installment. And then you're going to just mix it. I wouldn't suggest going really fast. And another reason why you should mix everything together in a large bowl is because the flour sometimes can be tricky and it can just go everywhere, honey. Now we're going to add that second installment. It's okay. So now it's going to start getting thick. So what you want to do when it starts to get thick, you want to stir it, but you want to fold it, because you want to make sure that the wet ingredients get all over those dry ingredients. You want to make sure every little bit. So it should start looking like this. You just want to get it all the way in. And fold it. Make sure you're folding it. You're going back and forth. Then we're going to add that last installment. I just absolutely love these mixing bowls. Like I said, I got them from Target. Came in a set of 3 for only $8, and I just feel as if you can't beat that. Now this is like really starting to come together. See what I mean? You got to make sure that you fold it, because you want to make sure that you get all of that flour. I mean, your arm is probably going to hurt, but you know, in the long run, once it's done, honey, it's going to be really good. So you want to make sure you get all of that flour. I actually got this spatula from Publix. It was about $3. It's such a good spatula for baking, if you ask me, and mixing. Not bake. Well, I guess you can say baking, but it's a really good spatula for just mixing ingredients together, wet and dry ingredients. So, honey, okay. You should be looking like this right now. And if you're not looking like this, honey, you need to go back to step 1. Okay, so now that we got our wet and dry ingredients mixed all together and it looks like so, we are going to add our chocolate chips and our chopped pecans. Now this step is optional. You can just make your banana bread just from this batter. I mean, you don't have to add these things, but I'm going to because it's just so good. So this is a cup of chocolate chips and a half a cup of pecans. And we are just going to mix that together, honey. Oh my goodness, it's crazy how this smells. The chocolate chips that I use is a semi-sweet. I shop at Publix. I don't know where you're located, but I got the Publix brand of the semi-sweet chocolate chips. I mean, I believe that these were no more than $2.99, but it's totally up to you. Okay, so we are almost done. So the last thing that we are going to do is make sure you add your parchment paper. I got this parchment paper from Publix. Publix is one of my favorite places to shop. I don't know, you know, what grocery store you guys are near, or if you have a Publix where you live. If not, every grocery store sells this. So you're just gonna put your parchment paper right in your baking dish. This is the size that I am using. And you're gonna make sure you spray your baking dish or the parchment paper inside of the baking dish with Pam, or you know, some type of oil. Make sure that it has some type of oil. And now you're going to put it right in the pan. Make sure you get all those goodies, honey. We don't need anything to go to waste. The reason why the parchment paper, you see some of it sticking out, I did it that way so that it can be easier for me to get it out of the baking dish. You're gonna make sure you smooth this out. And what I'm going to do, oh my God, I have pecans everywhere now. What I'm going to do is just add a few more pecans on top. Just a few more, just scatter them on top. And add a few of the chocolate chips on top as well. Just a few. I have to get some more. Okay, so this is what we're looking like pre-bake. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm getting ready to put this in the oven at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I'm going to check on this with a toothpaste. I'm going to check on this with a toothpick. And okay, everyone, we are back, and our banana bread is looking really, really good. I did put a toothpick in the middle of it, and it seems to be looking like it's done. Now, let me tell you guys, or show you guys why I like to have this parchment paper sticking out. Because look how easy it is to take this in and out. So I did let this cool off for about 10 minutes. And this is how your banana bread should look. Chocolate chip with pecan, vanilla extract, bananas, and it all just blends so well with each other. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something from this video. I hope that you go out and get all the ingredients and make this, because it's so good. It's fun. You can make it with your family. You can make it with your man. You can make it with your friends or whomever. Just, you know, get out and do something different. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel.